Because joining us here this morning, it is my governor, the governor of New Hampshire, Governor Sununu.
Hey, good to see you guys.
Welcome.
You're pausing on the news?
Yeah, we're pausing.
I am the news.
You are the news. You are the news.
It's great
Well,
to be here.
what do you have? Like you're probably mailing it in. What do you have? Like 6 months left?
I would love to be mailing it in.
How many months?
No, January. I'm out in the beginning of January.
Yeah.
I shall cease being governor.
You'll return to private life.
Private life and hopefully a private paycheck. Yeah, I mean, I got
You
kids
need a
to
gig?
pick up.
You want us to get you a
I
gig
would
right
love it.
now?
I would love a gig.
You'd
yeah.
love a job? What do you want to do?
I don't know, to be all private sector, maybe working. I'm a business guy. I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
There's been some talk of media and all that, but that's not quite my jam. So I'm not sure. I'll figure it out this summer, though. I wish I had a better answer.
What will you miss most? I mean, you don't have.
I love the job. I mean, I love doing this. I love being able to travel. I'm like addicted to the 603, right?
Yeah.
Almost to a fault. I guess the best answer is I'll really miss picking on Maura Healey as governor of Massachusetts. No, and Massachusetts as a whole. No, I just love the people, and I love hearing stories, and I love traveling the state, and it's really hard. It is wicked hard as a job, as we say, but it is incredibly fulfilling, and I love it.
Well, Wiggie's hoping last day in office you legalize weed. That would be his
It
wish.
might be sooner than that, my friend.
Oh, that's movement.
So it actually, someone said, "What are you going to say?" Because they added all these amendments to a bill late last night in our state senate. I got to take a look and see where it is. And as you all know, I'm not a big fan, but it's probably inevitable. It probably is. And
So the
I'm
federal
real scared.
government, Joe Biden announced yesterday, they're going to switch it from Class 1 to a Class 3, which would open up, I'm assuming, states that have not legalized to follow.
So that's. It more affects the financial transactions and all that.
Right.
Half the country's legalized it, and they've done it regardless of what class it is. No one's afraid of the federal government coming down on them at this point. The federal government is just trying to create some better pathways and loopholes to get rid of the financial problems of it being like a purely cash business. That's the biggest issue there. We're not really worried. I mean, that helps, but that's not going to get in the way of us legalizing or not legalizing. So, if with me, it's all about kids, safety around kids, edibles, marketing, and messaging. If we do it, our system would be very different than what you guys have in Massachusetts, Maine, or Vermont, and way better. Yeah. Way better.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you gone into like those pot shops in Mass? Like they're skeevy, they're disgusting. They're awful. They're awful.
Not. Or South Boston. There's a very nice one in South.
So we would run all the
So
retail.
we didn't come here to be abused as Massachusetts people.
Yeah, the liquor stores are really clean.
We spend a lot of money
Our
on
liquor stores are clean.
I'll
I'll put my liquor stores against Cappy's any day.
we massholes spend a lot of money on fireworks and booze up here, so we'd appreciate
appreciate that.
Some love,
and we appreciate that.
We
appreciate that. I mean, look at that. You got a big crowd in here. You got a crowd. I was late coming in. I got detained by my own state police just trying to get around the traffic.
Would that happen here? What happened to Scotty Scheffler this morning?
But unlike Scotty, I knew the magic words. Do you know who I am?
Right.
And it got me right out of it.
Are you going to miss that the most? I mean, be honest, because I know your truck probably comes with all the good lights on it and the escort.
We never turn the lights on, but you know what the perk of being governors? For various reasons, because I travel with security and state police, I never go through security at an airport the same way as everybody else. Yeah. We have to kind of go through. They do their paperwork. We have to go through the back door, but it is awesome. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, it is probably the best perk there is.
Yeah, it really
is that I because of who I'm with, I have to kind of get shuffled through quickly past security, and it's awesome.
Courtney is flying later today, so maybe
from Lebanon to Nantucket.
You
better get there a few hours early because the traffic out of Lebanon Airport is just crazy.
Now, how many gates would you say is at Lebanon Airport?
I'm surprised they have a gate.
Okay. So you think I can arrive pretty
I think you
quickly?
literally go from your car to the plane, walk over a grass field, and climb up a rope.
Okay, that's not. It is making me nervous because it's cloudy out. So
I do think that Courtney is the Jackie Robinson of Lebanon, New Hampshire to Nantucket.
Right.
I don't think that has ever been traveled in the history of man.
Also, is that a commercial flight?
Yeah, no. It's Cape Air. Yeah, Cape Air.
Oh, Cape Air.
Cape
Lebanon
Air.
to Nantucket.
Well, it stops in Boston.
Yeah. Or Escape Air, as they call it.
Right. Have you guys seen the whistleblowers at Cape Air?
You know what? If that's how I go out, I was doing what I love.
It ain't spirit.
Right.
It ain't spirit.
She has anxiety about everything. but getting to Nantucket for Wine Fest and a bachelorette party is more important than risking her life on a biplane. I guess
so.
Yeah.
Sit in the middle.
I'm hoping that it's just me and the pilot, and I can, be up there with him.
I love the tagline for Wine Weekend in Nantucket. Just when you thought this place wasn't pretentious enough.
Well, we can't wait to get there.
Yep.
So nationally, a lot going on.
You mean politically?
Yes.
Well, I suppose in the courtrooms and all that nonsense.
What do you make of the? I'm focused on the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed trial, but what do you make of?
Who isn't?
Are you watching it up here? No, you're not.
No, sorry.
New Hampshire's not. Is anybody on board up here, or you guys don't know? Yeah.
Sorry. Look, there's a bunch of stuff going on in Massachusetts. It's called the Celtics. It's called the Bruins.
Yes.
That's what our Drake May. That's what our focus is on up here.
Yeah. What do you make of the trial that the former president?
It's just reality TV. Yeah. I mean, nobody likes it. It's chaotic. It's awful. But the way I put it is this, and not to get overly political, but everyone's watching it. But no one's kept awake by it, right? No one's kept awake at night going, my God, what is going to happen in the trials? But they are kept awake by inflation and the border and things that really affect their families. And I try to explain to folks, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I could care less who you vote for, but you should vote, by the way. But that's going to impact, what impacts the vote in November is the stress that people feel with their finances, with inflation, with all that stuff. So as much as people want to talk about the trials, I just don't think it's going to have a huge impact at the end of the day. If anything, Trump's poll numbers go up every time he's on there. Right?
My question is, we are a country of millions of people. Are these two the best that we could possibly get at this point?
Oh, I don't think that's even a debate or a question. It's like a joke, right? I mean, it's an absolute joke. But that being said, this is who we voted for, right? We didn't magically pull these guys out of a hat. Republicans voted for Trump. I tried my best to give them somebody else with Nikki Haley, but Republicans voted for Trump. Democrats voted for Biden. That's the process. Those are the rules, and that's a party system. And so we can complain, oh, yeah, we hate having these two on top of the ticket, and I do. But it's who we chose.
Yeah.
Does it look like Trump is going to get reelected? If you had to guess, because that's just the way
if I'm betting, I'm betting he's Trump
right.
wins. Yeah, Trump wins. Because
he'll lower the taxes, though.
Even in places where he lost, he would win in probably Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, these key states, bigger than he won before, which is unbelievable. 7 months ago, I would have said, no way. There's no way he could get reelected. No, then Biden is really that bad.
We wanted you to run. Just merely for the access, but
VP
but
for
what,
Trump.
But what made you not? What was the main reason why you? Is it?
I thought I could. So a couple things. Number one, my divorce would have been imminent from my family, not just from my wife. My entire family wanted nothing to do with it. But more importantly, I do believe there's a future of the Republican Party and all that, and it's not necessarily Trump. It isn't Trump. And I just thought I could be a better supporter of the party, of the team, of getting a new candidate, of showing a better side of ourselves by not running and being a great host for the First of the Nation primary, because we are the First of the Nation. And I knew all the candidates running, and I wanted to, give them the best shot at being the best version of themselves on the trail. And even DeSantis got better on the trail, and a lot of these guys got better as they went along. I ended up endorsing Nikki. And, everyone else, we cleared everyone else out of the race and made it a one-on-one, gave everybody a choice, not just New Hampshire, but 20-plus states an actual choice. She didn't win. Okay, fine. You win some, you lose some. You got to move on from that. But that's what my mission was, to make sure we had a real choice, not just a 13th candidate in the race. Yeah. That's what I end up with.
So it wasn't something like you had killed a family pet or something that you were afraid of?
Look, if there are skeletons in the closet, everyone in this room knows about them by now. I am overly transparent about everything to a fault.
You know what's so crazy about that story? That wasn't opposition research. That was in her own book.
Yes, she was happy about it.
It's
unbelievable.
Crazy. And not only did she kill the puppy, right? That's bad enough. Then she wrote about it. Then her staff said, hey, let's keep this in the book. I mean, where was the staff saying, really bad idea, Go? Yeah. Probably bragging about killing puppies is not a winning move. But it really is awful.
Are you happy with the job that Alex Cora is doing so far this season, after calling for him to be fired on the show?
Boy, I still hear about that.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, oh, man, I love hearing on EEI, but what is your problem with Alex Cora? So he is fine. He's adequate.
He's adequate.
He's adequate.
Adequate.
He's 22 and 20, with the Red Sox being where they are. And I just focus on the team and where the team is and everything. And, that's it. And I'm not happy with 22 and 22. And Alex Cora, God bless you. who knows what your next gig's going to be.
Yeah. I heard a podcast with the mayor of Miami, who is a fascinating guy, last name Suarez, I believe.
Francis Suarez.
He was talking about politics in a way that I never heard it distilled, which is the number one resource any place has is the constituents' time.
That's it.
And that's so time to be with your family safely, time to exercise, time to have culture, time to have sports, time to get from point A to point B. And I feel like if the conservative movement just focused on that we are not going to remove lanes in traffic, we're not going to tell you that you have to drive a certain kind of car, we're not going to create so much pain that we hope that you stop trying to drive where you're going, then I really do think there is potential for this, because the other side, nobody, Republican or Democrat, believes that they should have an extra hour to get to work because there needs to be bike lanes that are unoccupied and bus lanes that are barely good.
Wow, someone's auditioning for Fox. I think, look, you're absolutely right. And this is what it all comes down to. People are pissed off because they just want government out of their lives. They're tired of being told how to live their lives, right? And tired of being told all this woke stuff and all this stuff. And so you see all these Democrats now and people that never would have been with Trump 6 months ago are now saying, look, we just want a culture change, man. Stop. And it's these hard – again, I don't mean to – I was so excited to come here and not talk politics. But I'm not trying to tell people how to vote. But you're exactly right. What I'm trying to explain to these elitists, if you will, especially in the media, who don't seem to get it, is that average Americans – their families built this country. They work their ass off every single day. They're paying high inflation. They stand a post and picked up arms and defended this country generation after generation. And a bunch of elitists in D.C. are trying to tell them how to live their lives. And that's just at its fundamental core, especially in a place like the live free or die state. That ain't flying, man. And they just want that. They just want that over. And that's it.
Can you just run?
No. No. I'm happy to help, and I really am, and I'm just one guy, but. I really do want to go make some money. I can't afford to put my kids through college. My 19-year-old just joined the Marine. He got a scholarship money to go to college and everything, but he said, you know what? I'm not sure what I want to do, and college is way too expensive anyways, and so he just at 19 joined the Marines.
Wow. Go be the mayor of Quincy. Yeah. They pay him like $400,000. So.
Oh dear Lord! Yeah, I've seen some of these paychecks coming out of Massachusetts.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Massachusetts.
To
be honest,
it's really wild. When they were talking about putting tolls, up on the roads on the border, and the commissioner, the commissioner of transportation in Massachusetts
Tibbetts
said,
nut.
We need to get as much money out of these people as possible. These people, and we're going to go after pickup trucks because God forbid you should own a pickup truck, right? Holy cow!
I own one.
Yeah, $4 billion in a bonding and housing. I mean, I don't know why you guys put up with that stuff.
I'm not like the huge politic guy. I kind of go right down the middle. But do you think that's why Trump is kind of ahead, because he's saying enough of the woke, enough of this like stuff of where wussification of America, or everybody gets a trophy, enough of like people, if you say something they want to put you on the cross. Do you feel like that's why he's coming where he is now, because it seems like we are trying to get back to like when you talked about living in America and just being able to say what you want, do what you want, and not have everybody be like, oh, my God, cancel that person.
No, that's it. And that is at its core. It's not because of any great policy ideas he has. Toughen up, Buttercup. I mean, we're Americans. Let's act like it. I mean, that's effectively what he's saying.
Yeah. Right.
And a lot of people could say that, but, he's kind of the standard bearer of the party and with the former president, and he's got this brashness and all that sort of thing. And people get behind him not because of what he did as president, but he's got 40 years of branding, right? Remember, he was in the American psyche in 1980. Yeah. He was a brand name. And so people just know him as all that brashness and deal-making and all that kind of stuff, and they're willing to ignore all the other pieces. Not ignore it, but say, look, that's less on my priorities. I hated January 6th. I hated the election denial. I hate all that crap. But for most Americans, that's like number 6 or 7 on our priorities.
Yeah.
The inflation and stop telling us how to live our lives, those are like number 1 and 2, and he stands for.
How important will his running mate be? Him choosing?
Nah.
You don't know that.
Really
it won't sway people either
Trump
way.
Trump is Trump. You vote for or against Trump.
I don't know. Any chance Nikki Haley would join?
He won't ask her. Yeah. No, he would never do that. I don't think he would. I think it would be great if it did, but
how long do we have with you?
I got all freaking day.
Okay. All right.